Guys, welcome to Proactive Prudence. In this video, we'll be studying about biochemistry, first chapter, which is carbohydrates. So we'll see what is definition of carbohydrates and the classification, as well as the functions of carbohydrates. So firstly, we'll see what is the definition of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the most abundant organic material or molecules in nature. So carbohydrates may be defined as polyhydroxyaldehydes or ketones or compounds which produce them on hydrolysis. Carbohydrates are often referred to as saccharides, which is sugar. So these carbohydrates are most abundant organic molecules because they are present as carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. And you can find these carbohydrates in whatever you consume or whatever you use in your daily activities. So carbohydrates play an important role in the organic molecules, organic chemistry. So carbohydrates is defined as polyhydroxyaldehydes. That is, they contain CHO group as well or they may contain CO group, ketone group. So moving on, the functions of carbohydrates are they are the most abundant dietary source of energy for all organisms. So they act as the dietary source. Then carbohydrates are precursors for many organic compounds. They act as the first compounds for the organic molecules that are formed. Carbohydrates participate in the structure of cell membranes, cellular functions such as cell growth, adhesion, and fertilization. So, carbohydrates play an important role in the formation of the structures of the cell, which include cell membrane. They help in the formation of cell membrane, or they help in the cellular functions like cell growth, in the growth of the cell. Then, adhesion is to make two cells to stay together, and in fertilization also. There are these are the structural components of many organisms. They act as a structural component of organisms like the organisms like they form the exoskeleton of an insect. So the chitin that is obtained from chitin, which is the exoskeleton of insect, consists of carbohydrates, and in plants also it is in the form of cellulose. It forms a fiber of plant. Then in the cell wall of microorganisms, the outermost layer has a slimy layer. So this slimy layer consists of carbohydrates. Then carbohydrates also serve as storage form of energy to meet the immediate energy demands of the body. So after excess of glucose that is formed, it gets stored, it gets converted into the form of glycogen. So this glycogen serves as a storage form of energy in the human body. Moving on to the classification, here is a table of classification. So carbohydrates can be classified into three different types. They are monosaccharides, oligosaccharides, and polysaccharides. This categorization is based on the number of sugar units that is present in the carbon chain. So monosaccharides can be further divided into aldehydes and ketones. Polysaccharides can be further divided into homopolysaccharides and heteropolysaccharides. Moving on, monosaccharides are the simplest group of carbohydrates and often referred to as simple sugars. So these monosaccharides are the simplest forms. They are not the complex carbohydrates. They consist of six carbons forming a ring structure. So the general formula of monosaccharides is CnH2O whole N. The monosaccharides can be further divided into aldoses and ketoses based on the functional group that is present in the carbon chain. So based on the functional group, it is called as aldoses and ketoses. It is called aldoses because the carbon chain consists of the functional group aldehyde, and it is also known as aldose. Ketosis consists of ketone group, and hence it is referred to as ketosis. Based on the number also, monosaccharides can be divided as trioses, tetroses, pentoses, hexoses, and heptoses. Trioses consists of 3 carbons, tetroses with 4 carbons, and pentoses has 5 carbon, hexoses have 6 carbon, and heptoses has 7 carbon. There is an example for monosaccharides. There are examples for monosaccharides, that is glucose, which is an aldohexose. It contains aldehyde group as well as 6 carbon atoms. Fructose is a monosaccharide which consists of a ketone group as well as 6 carbon atoms. So this ends up the monosaccharide. Moving on to oligosaccharide, it contains 2 to 10 monosaccharide molecules liberated on hydrolysis. They give 2 to 10 monosaccharides on hydrolysis. So based on the number of monosaccharide units that are present in the carbon chain, the oligosaccharides can be divided as disaccharide, trisaccharides, etc. So there's an example of sucrose, which is a disaccharide consisting of glucose and fructose. Moving on, polysaccharides. Poly meaning many. The polymers of monosaccharide units with high molecular weight up to million. These polysaccharides are tasteless, that is, they are non-sugars, and they form colloids with water. Colloids is formation of uh, precipitate in the when they are dissolved in water. So that is called as colloids. They usually don't dissolve in water. Then polysaccharides can be divided into two different types, that is homopolysaccharides and heteropolysaccharides. Homopolysaccharides is having same type of monosaccharides in the carbon chain, that is called as homopolysaccharide. Heteropolysaccharides is referred to when the carbon chain consists of two or more different types of monosaccharides in the carbon chain. So this ends up the general classification and definition of carbohydrates. We'll be dealing with the monosaccharides, oligosaccharides, and polysaccharides in separate topics in the upcoming videos. Do like the video and comment about the video.